It was the 19th century. The contagious and killer disease tuberculosis was spreading all around the world, similar to today's pandemic. In America, infected people flocked to western cities, like Denver, Colorado, for cleaner, breathable air to survive. But a disconnected network of food pantries, religious organizations, and relief agencies couldn't handle the onslaught of so many people desperate for help. So an idea was born. If we can't solve this problem by ourselves, why not unite? Join together and raise money to distribute needed funds to all relief societies. Unite as one organization, pooling all the resources together to make a bigger impact on thousands of children and families at once. It was a tremendous success, so much so that the United Way movement spread to Indianapolis in 1918. Tens of thousands of caring citizens united to raise critical funds to support soldiers overseas and help fight poverty here at home. United Way's first ever fundraising campaign, visibly seen on Monument Circle in the form of a war chest, was a huge success. Ever since, United Way has responded to our community's toughest challenges. United Way has been that convening power in central Indiana that personifies strength, grit, hope, and resiliency. Together, we have battled the impacts of war, illness, economic recession, terror attacks, and today, a global pandemic.
The coronavirus and the implications of essential actions being taken to contain it will generate significant hardships for many in our community. We are particularly concerned about the impact that this pandemic will have on vulnerable members of our community who already struggle mightily to overcome the challenges of poverty and financial insecurity.
Within days of the first Hoosier diagnosis of COVID-19, United Way was hard at work, preparing to respond to the coming stress and hardship that our community was about to encounter. On March 13th, we united once again. Alongside major funding partners, United Way launched the Central Indiana COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund, with an initial investment of $17 million to provide relief to food pantries, shelters, community centers, and health organizations, which were ensuring the basic needs of thousands of people in this health and economic crisis. This quick and decisive action resulted in our community's fund being the first of its kind in the entire United States, set up specifically to meet growing demand for assistance as a result of the pandemic. By late March, a mandatory quarantine was in place for all Hoosiers, and the effects of COVID-19 were widespread across all sectors of our economy, creating an outsized and immediate need for childcare solutions for first responders, access to nutritious food, safe housing, and care for seniors and immigrant populations. In its first funding round, 46 nonprofit organizations received more than $7.3 million in grants to provide solutions to these and other problems and immediate aid to these individuals and families. As the demand grew, so did the unmatched generosity from the Central Indiana community. 4 months after its launch, the Relief Fund raised nearly $24 million from thousands of corporate and individual donors. The effort mobilized people from all walks of life to take action and help their fellow neighbors in new and creative ways. Today, we are united together to ensure Central Indiana emerges from this hardship with hope and an opportunity for a better future.
We normally do about 20,000 meals a week, and with a dramatic increase, we understood that our capacity was going to be challenged. Going from 20,000 meals to 50,000 meals a week in a very, very short period of time could have been overwhelming. We're able to do it, though, through this partnership.
With the help of the United Way, we were able to retool our operations, put all the necessary steps into place, and the United Way helped us buying some of these supplies, making sure that we had a safe environment.
I worked very closely with each team member, with each department, to ensure that they had the tools and the resources needed for them to be able to continue to connect with our program participants. We have not stopped providing services. We are assisting individuals with rent and utilities for at least 2 to 3 months as needed, and we stay connected to the community to make sure that the Indianapolis Urban League is doing all that we can to assist those who have been impacted directly and indirectly as a result of COVID-19.
By the fourth and final distribution of funds, more than 180 local nonprofits had received an award to support work focused on a wide array of need, including addressing the increased demand for mental health services, support and shelter for children in the child welfare system, support for people with disabilities and their caregivers, utility assistance, legal services, and continued resources for food relief organizations. This includes a deep investment of more than $1 million in grassroots organizations led by and primarily serving people of color. The data is clear. Communities of color have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19 compared to their white neighbors, a trend caused by higher rates of underlying medical conditions due in large part to a disproportionately large representation amongst households that are struggling to make ends meet in all 6 of our central Indiana counties. The pandemic's effect on our economy will continue even when active cases of COVID-19 decline. With record unemployment, poverty is expected to rise, and families will continue to be stretched thin to find jobs and cover the basics like food, rent, and utilities. Our work isn't finished when the health crisis is over. As the economy slowly reopens, rebounds, and recovers, it is clear that we must all unite. Philanthropy, our corporate community, and government in the rebuilding of our community. United Way knows crisis. We know we must unite. Central Indiana knows the Hoosier spirit. We know it's about neighbor helping neighbor. By uniting our community of donors, volunteers, and advocates, and making intentional investments in the programs, places, and people that uplift the full well-being of our neighbors, we will see our community through this. Together, we will change tomorrow, today, for all those who live here.